Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about soil and plant growth. So if you would go get your 5-subject notebook and turn to your science section and put soil and plant growth at the top of just the next clean page. Okay, and just like the past several days, I'm going to be underlining or circling whatever I would like for you to write down for your notes in red. So let's get started. So we know the needs of plants, and we know that plants need sunlight, the right temperature, water, air, space, and nutrients to grow. And we also know that soil is probably the most important key to survival of plants, and the quality of soil will determine the amount of these basic needs. Meaning, however good your soil is, that's going to kind of help determine what else your plants is going to need from these basic needs up here. Now, let's talk about the roots of a plant. So the roots of a plant help them get water and nutrients from the soil. And the rocky part of the soil is important in assisting with water and nutrients, so getting that water and nutrients to the rest of the plant. So sand is porous, so it doesn't hold a lot of water, right? We learned that the other day. And that's going to mean that plants don't grow well in the sand. Also, while clay is very good at holding water, but it is also very fine, like again we learned the other day, and so it doesn't hold nutrients very well, which means that just like sand, plants are not going to grow very well in only clay. So as you can see on the right, I've actually put a picture of some plant roots, and of course there are roots that are going to be bigger and longer, but just so you can kind of see, these down here are obviously the roots, and here's like a little bit better picture. Another thing that you could picture is some tree roots. Have you ever seen a really giant tree and on the ground all those roots coming out of it? Those tree roots are going to be huge because that tree needs a lot of nutrients to help it continue to grow and be a big sturdy tree like we know. So from these roots, I would like for you to write down roots, and let's write down what they use it for, again to get water and nutrients from the soil. And then you could write down that sand is porous, so it doesn't hold a lot of water, meaning plants aren't going to grow very well. So basically this bullet point and this one about clay not holding nutrients very well, meaning that plants aren't going to grow very well in it. But just because sand and clay by themselves don't grow plants very well, you can actually mix these two particles together. And when that happens, it's called loam. So loam is just soil that contains a balanced mixture of sand and clay. So let's add that definition to our notes. So again, we know that both sand and clay have benefits, right? We learned about that the other day. So some farmers will actually mix these two rocky particles together because plants will grow best in a type of soil called loam. And so when these two substances are mixed together, the sand will break apart the soil so the roots can push through, which helps to infuse the soil with air and that nutrients. And because that clay is going to hold a lot of water, it holds water for plants, and it is sturdy enough to help the plant's roots hold on to. So again, we learned that clay is going to be really hard, and it's going to have a lot of water, so it's going to be really firm and really good for roots to kind of hold on to and get a good grip on, so the plants just don't topple over. And farmers might also add humus. Remember, that's the decaying plants, animals, and waste to the soil to give that soil even more nutrients for their plants. So over here is just a picture of some of that loam soil mixed together with some plants growing out of it. So from this, I would like for you to write down this bullet point. Okay, that's kind of all. I mean, again, we really want to remember that sand and clay together work well, because while we know that sand doesn't hold a lot of water or nutrients. The clay does. So they are strong where the other is weak. So when we put them together, they balance their weakness. Okay? So today, what you're going to do for your assignment is I'm going to show it to you, is you have a reading, and then you've got some questions down here, and this is still talking about soil and plant growth, and then you've got a cause and effect sheet, right? And we've done cause and effect. We know what that is. Remember, cause is like why something happens, and the effect is what took place, what happened, right? So down at the bottom are your 4 options for your blanks. So all you need to do is type the correct sentence into the correct box. Okay? So again, make sure you've got the notes from this. Go back, pause it if you need to, and then your reading with your questions and your cause and effect. As you finish up your schoolwork, I hope you have a great rest of your day.